Have you ever imagined that a simple leaf sitting in your kitchen right now could be the key to unlocking a new financial reality in your life? It might sound like an exaggeration, but ancient cultures and people around the world have been using a small gesture with a common ingredient to radically transform their finances, their paths, and even their deepest beliefs about prosperity. Today, you're going to discover 6 strategic places to put a bay leaf that can trigger a powerful sequence of changes, both internal and external, capable of unlocking your financial abundance. And here's a sincere warning. The 6th place I'm going to reveal to you is so strong that many people prefer not to speak about it out loud. But those who have used it say that not only did their financial life change, but also their confidence, their energy, and their sense of self-worth. If you've tried everything, if you're tired of methods that promise but don't deliver, maybe what was missing wasn't more effort, but a new energetic code. And it begins with something symbolic, ancestral, and deeply powerful. Bay leaves. But this isn't just about superstition or blind belief. There's an emotional, psychological, and energetic field being activated every time you establish a ritual with true intention. And in this video, you'll understand why it works, how to do it, and most importantly, what can happen if you ignore this calling. So if you're here, it's not by chance. Some part of you knows that change is needed, and it starts with full attention, the decision to watch until the end, and to allow yourself to try something new. Before we begin, click like now. Yes, right now. Activating this gesture is more than a click. It's a clear signal you send to the universe that you are open, present, and ready to receive. Comment below now. I deserve abundance. By writing this, you declare your intention to the universe, and you activate that commitment within yourself. Prepare your mind. Prepare your energy. What comes next may be far more transformative than you imagine. Long before money existed as we know it today, symbols guided people's lives, and among the most powerful was the bay leaf. It's no coincidence that it crowned the heads of Roman emperors, victorious generals, and poets who defined eras. In ancient Rome, a crown of bay leaves wasn't just a decoration. It was a visible sign of victory, honor, and conquest. That same leaf you find in your kitchen cabinet today was once the ultimate symbol of those who had gone beyond the ordinary. But bay leaves don't belong solely to the West. In the East, Buddhist monks and spiritual masters use them in rituals for cleansing, protection, and expanding consciousness. For them, the scent of bay leaves activated intuitive thinking and repelled heavy energies. This leaf has crossed centuries, religions, cultures, and continents, and it has now reached you. What does that mean? That there is a universal knowledge, an ancient archetype, that recognizes bay leaves as a channel connecting intention and manifestation. Now think with me. What did all these peoples have in common? They believed that external reality begins from within, and they used elements of nature to transform their mental states, their focus, their vibration. Today, with all the information we have, it's easy to fall into the trap of skepticism. But if you look closely, modern science is only beginning to confirm what the ancients already intuitively knew. The way we think, feel, and act shapes the outcomes we experience. Bay leaves in this context aren't magic. They're tools, symbols, channels, and by placing them in specific spots, which we'll reveal shortly, you're not just performing a pretty ritual, you're training your mind to adopt a new thought pattern. You're saying, I'm taking control of my energy. You can continue to treat bay leaves as just seasoning, or you can start seeing them as an ancestral code of victory. The choice is yours. But now that you know this, you can no longer ignore it. Comment below now. I deserve abundance. By writing it, you declare your intention to the universe and activate that commitment within yourself. Few people understand the true power of sleep. While you sleep, your brain enters a brainwave state called theta, where the conscious mind relaxes and the subconscious takes over. It's in this state that deep beliefs can be reprogrammed. And that's why the first place to put a bay leaf is right under your pillow. This ritual is simple, yet filled with intention. Before going to sleep, take a whole bay leaf, unbroken, and carefully place it under your pillow, on the side where you usually rest your head. Lie down as you normally would, and before closing your eyes, mentally repeat, firmly and calmly, my dreams clear my blocks. Money flows to me with ease. These words, repeated in the transition state between wakefulness and sleep, act as commands to your subconscious. It's like planting seeds in fertile soil. The bay leaf serves as a symbolic anchor for this intention. You might think this is too simple to create any real change, but listen to this. A follower named Larissa did this ritual for 7 consecutive nights. On the 8th day, she reported that an old debt was unexpectedly paid off, and that she received a job offer she had been waiting on for months. Coincidence? Maybe. But she doesn't think so, and thousands of others don't either, because what matters isn't the bay leaf itself. It's the focus it activates. It's the new pattern it initiates. This ritual works like a switch. When you activate it, you're sending a clear message. I'm ready to leave scarcity behind and make room for the flow of prosperity. And if you know someone going through financial, emotional, or mental difficulty, send them this video right now. It could be exactly what they need to turn the key. Walking is one of the most symbolic actions we can take. With each step you take, you're leaving something behind and moving closer to something new. That's exactly why the second ritual involves placing a bay leaf inside your right shoe. But pay attention, it must be the right foot. In spiritual and energetic symbolism, the right side represents action, strength, expansion, and decisions. When you place the bay leaf in that spot, you're literally saying to the universe and to your subconscious, I'm walking toward my abundance. How to do it? It's simple. Choose a shoe you frequently wear when going out. Place a bay leaf inside it, between the insole and the sole, making sure it doesn't cause discomfort or pain. And here comes the most important part. Every time you put on that shoe, take a deep breath and mentally repeat, every step I take brings me closer to the life I deserve to live. You'll notice something interesting. At first, it's just a phrase, but over time, it becomes a feeling. You'll walk differently, you'll think differently, you'll act differently, and that changes everything. A quick example. Marcos, one of the channel's subscribers, had been unemployed for 4 months. He did this ritual with skepticism, but he decided to give it a shot anyway. On the second day, an old contact reached out for an interview. A week later, he was working again. He said, "I don't know if it was the bay leaf, but something in me shifted. I felt in control again." And that's exactly the point. You activate a new internal posture. If you're feeling resistance toward doing this ritual, that says a lot too. Maybe it's time to ask yourself, what step haven't I had the courage to take yet? Comment below. When you write, you externalize. And when you externalize, you begin to transform. Your wallet is the place where you keep what symbolizes value, money, cards, important documents. It directly represents your relationship with money. That's why the third ritual is so powerful, placing a bay leaf inside your wallet. But it's not just about placing it and forgetting it. The intention here is to transform your wallet into a field of living abundance. Take a whole bay leaf, preferably fresh and unbroken, and place it in direct contact with a bill inside your wallet. It can be any denomination. What matters is not the amount, but the symbol. Now, every time you open your wallet, pause for 2 seconds and visualize. Yes, visualize money flowing into it. See your wallet always full. See bills being paid with ease. See your financial freedom expanding. And mentally repeat, my wallet is a magnet for opportunities. Money comes to me with ease. This small gesture will train your brain to see money as something natural, available, and flowing, not scarce or difficult. You might think it's silly, but what shapes your financial life are exactly the little ideas you repeat every day without even noticing. The truth is, most people open their wallets with fear, tension, or guilt. You're going to start opening yours with energy, focus, and gratitude. And that vibration changes your decisions, your words, and even the invitations you attract. Want to go deeper into this process? Click subscribe now. When you subscribe, you connect with more tools, more rituals, more strategies to strengthen your journey. And remember, you're not alone in this. There's an entire community walking with you toward financial freedom. The front door of your home is more than just a physical boundary. It represents the threshold between the outside world and your sacred space. Everything that enters and leaves your life energetically passes through it. That's why the fourth ritual involves placing a bay leaf behind the entrance door of your home. This practice is ancient. People from various cultures use specific plants at their doors to ward off negative energies and attract good fortune. Bay leaves, specifically, are known as leaves of protection and path opening. But be careful. Don't place it just any way. Do it with intention. Take a dried bay leaf and calmly place it discreetly on the top frame of the door or tape it to the back of the door. As you do this, take a deep breath and say quietly or mentally, "Every time this door opens, abundance enters. Every time it closes, scarcity stays outside." You're not just creating a symbolic barrier. You're reprogramming how your mind perceives your home, not as a place of struggle, but as a space of receiving, of growth, of prosperity. It's very common that after doing this ritual, people report a sense of lightness, harmony in the environment, and even unexpected opportunities arriving at home, important visitors, phone calls, proposals. And most importantly, every time you walk through that door, remember your pact. You're going out to conquer and coming back to receive. That awareness changes how you act outside and how you feel when you return. Are you enjoying the video so far? Then hit the like button now. This isn't just support for the channel, it's also a gesture of expansion. The more people access this content, the more this energy of prosperity spreads. And your door will become the point of entry for something new. Are you ready for that? Planting something is one of the oldest gestures of faith in the future. When you put a seed into the ground, you're saying, "I believe in time. I believe in invisible growth." And that's why the fifth ritual is so special. Burying a bay leaf in a pot or in the garden as a symbol of rooted prosperity. You don't need a big garden. A simple pot with fresh soil is enough. What matters here is the presence of intention. Take a dried bay leaf, hold it between your hands for a few seconds, and think about what you truly want to build financially. Don't think small. Don't just think about paying bills. Think about freedom, about security, about legacy. Now, bury the leaf in the soil. Cover it gently without rushing. As you do this, close your eyes and visualize. See it as if it were a movie. You smiling peacefully, helping the people you love, living where you've always dreamed. See it in detail, as if it's already happening. And say sincerely, "This leaf represents the birth of my new financial reality. With each day, my prosperity grows, quietly and steadily." This ritual is powerful because it combines two fundamental elements: physical action and mental creation. You're placing your hand in the earth, connecting with the real world, while accessing internal images that shape your behavior. One follower named Andrea shared that she did this ritual in a moment of desperation. She was about to give up on her business. She planted the bay leaf, did the visualization, and the following week, she was invited to showcase her products at a fair, which became a turning point. She didn't just plant a leaf. She planted courage. She planted direction. And now I want to know from you. What is your biggest financial dream? Write it in the comments below. This isn't just venting. It's a declaration. When you write it down, you anchor it. When you share it, you commit to it. Now we've reached the most powerful moment of this video. The ritual that few people know and many avoid doing out of fear of what it might trigger. Because it doesn't just require a gesture. It requires clarity. It requires the courage to look within and clearly state what you want to experience. And that's why it works. Because it breaks the pattern of doubt and activates the power of decision. This is the ritual of the letter with the bay leaf. You'll need 3 simple things: a blank sheet of paper, a pen, a whole bay leaf. Sit down in a calm place. Take a deep breath and begin writing by hand with as much sincerity as possible, a declaration of abundance. Don't write requests. Write as if you're already living it. For example, I am financially free. I have security, options, and peace of mind. My income is growing. Money finds me with ease. Write what your heart wants to say, even if it feels too big, even if it seems unlikely, because transformation begins when you dare to declare it. After writing, carefully fold the paper. Place the bay leaf inside as if sealing in that energy. Then store this letter somewhere only you know, a drawer, a box, your purse. Every time you remember it, imagine that what's written there is already real. That letter becomes a magnet, not because it has magical power, but because you begin to align your thoughts, actions, and decisions with what you've written. Want proof? A woman named Teresa, who follows the channel, wrote that letter when she was in debt, unemployed, and without direction. She cried while writing, but she finished, folded it, put it away. 3 months later, she had a job, was paying everything on time, and had even started saving. When she wrote to me, she said, "It wasn't just the money that arrived. It was the version of me I had never let come to life." And now I ask you, are you ready for that kind of change? Then write in the comments, "I am ready." Because sometimes all the universe is waiting for is you to take that first step. So far you've seen simple, practical, symbolic rituals. But you might still be wondering, why would any of this actually work? The answer lies in psychology and in how your mind interprets the world. Our brain is a repetition machine. It loves patterns, seeks predictability, and clings to whatever is familiar, even if that means recreating scarcity, fear, and self-sabotage. If you grew up hearing things like money doesn't grow on trees, life is hard, or rich people aren't happy, your subconscious absorbed those as absolute truths. And even without realizing it, you act every day to confirm those ideas. But here's the thing, the brain can be reprogrammed. And that's exactly what rituals do. They interrupt the automatic cycle and create new emotional associations. When you place a bay leaf in your wallet, under your pillow, or at your door, you're sending signals to your mind. From now on, I'm open to a new reality. These physical gestures activate a neuroscience concept called somatic anchoring, when an object or action is associated with a new mental state. Over time, the simple presence of bay leaves can trigger calm, focus, and even a spontaneous sense of abundance. You change your behavior, and that changes your results. But there's more. When you write a letter declaring a new identity, like in the last ritual, you're using a technique validated by psychologists, writing as a process of affirmation and visualization. Studies show that people who clearly write down their goals and review them regularly are up to 42% more likely to achieve them. And it's not just because of the paper, it's because you're activating your brain like a radar, adjusting your focus to notice opportunities you would have otherwise missed. In the end, it's not about leaves or magic. It's about breaking invisible patterns and rebuilding your relationship with money, with yourself, and with life. And now the question is, will you go back to autopilot, or will you keep creating your new reality with intention? Don't keep putting off what's already knocking on your door. Abundance doesn't start when you have more money, more time, or more luck. It starts now, with a decision. Today you learned 6 simple, accessible, and deeply symbolic rituals. Each one, in its own way, awakens a forgotten part of you, the part that believes, acts, and creates. You've learned that bay leaves go far beyond a cooking herb. They are a key. Under your pillow, they reprogram your sleep. In your right shoe, they shift your steps toward prosperity. In your wallet, they change how you relate to money. Behind your door, they filter what comes in and out of your life. In the earth, they plant your deepest intention. In a handwritten letter, they seal a pact with your new self. But none of this will work if you just watch the video, feel a temporary emotion, and then go back to your usual routine. What separates those who transform their lives from those who only collect knowledge is action. You might be tired, disappointed, or feeling doubtful, but if you've made it this far, it's because something inside you hasn't given up. That part is the most powerful, and it's the one you need to trust. Every real change starts with small actions. And maybe what's missing to unlock your next financial chapter isn't a stroke of luck, but a ritual done with intention. A move that says, I'm done waiting. Now imagine this. What if 30 days from now you looked back and said, that video was the turning point? Not because of magic, but because you chose to do something different. So take a deep breath and remember, you don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to take the next step. Now it's your turn. If you haven't already, hit the like button right now. This simple gesture seals your intention with energy. Subscribe to the channel so you can keep receiving rituals practices, and insights that will strengthen you on this journey. Share this video with at least 3 people you feel need to unlock their financial lives. You could be the catalyst for their change. And comment below, I am a magnet for abundance. Write it with conviction. Declare it. Let this be the beginning of a new story. See you in the next video. And remember, everything begins when you decide to stop surviving and start living with intention.